on a phone conversation the other day with a guy that's wanting to step out into the field, start his own authority, and he was curious on how do you get paid. So let's go ahead and talk about that for a minute. Welcome back. I'll let you show you guys some of this nice little winter driving. Oddly enough, it's the end of May, and well, there's snow on these hills. I just made a right-hand turn on Highway 187, heading down to Provo, Utah, and it looks like it's going to be a nice scenic route. Anybody, any of you guys know me, my favorite routes across the country are the scenic routes. So, last couple miles I've been racking my brain trying to figure out what I wanted to talk about, and I was on a phone conversation the other day with a guy that's wanting to step out into the field, start his own authority, and he was curious on how do you get paid. So let's go ahead and talk about that for a minute as we drive through this beautiful country here. But I'm going to try to cover what I told him on the phone and let you guys know as well. Open up for debate, kinda. There's no right or wrong way to do a lot of things in business. You do what works, and what works for you won't necessarily work for everybody else. But you got to find your groove, and you got to get in it, and then keep it going. But this is what I told him, and it was dealing with collecting loads or payment for loads, and also quick pay versus factoring versus waiting on your the net, whether it's a net 30, net 60, or whatever the broker offers. And first was payment, and I told him, I said, depending on what broker you're set up with, they're all pretty much the same status quo, but they're all different. Like an XPO load, they may, let's say XPO load versus Coyote. I think I'm pretty much, you may be able to use TransFlow for all these, but like Coyote, I just email them. And like I told him, I said, whenever I drop a load, off, I print out an invoice, cut rate confirmation, and I snap a picture of those, including the POD. And the way I get them is I use an app called Cam Scanner at CAM Scanner, and it makes the photo look like it's been a black and white scanned photo. Works out really well. Then you save it to your phone, and with an iPhone, I save it into files. I save it into documents, and by doing so, it saves it as a PDF file. So whenever I go to submit that load, I pull up my email. By default, I always put my company name and the load number, or I put the load number in the subject line, and then in the description, I put my company name and the load number, and about 2 spaces down, and I insert a PDF file for that load. And Coyote, for example, they're 3-day quick pay, and that usually means on the 4th day you're paid, maybe. And then you got brokers that, like JB Hunt. I submit all my paperwork at JB Hunt. I submit them with TransFlow app, and basically do the same thing. I use Cam Scanner. I save them to my device this time. I don't PDF them. I save them to my device. Then I go into TransFlow and I upload them from TransFlow from my phone, and then I send it through TransFlow. And again, that's with the app, not in the truck stop. And then you got brokers like Uber. Uber, all they want is use the in-app photo or in-app camera, take a photo of a signed bill POD. And same way with Convoy. Convoy's just a little better though. Convoy's Uber needs to step it up. Convoy's got a smart camera in theirs, so to speak. You just hover it over the POD, and it basically adjusts to find the document, and then it snaps a picture of the document. It's perfect. I love it. I also told him, I said, when I first started out, I was real particular, and I wanted the print. I want you to sign. I need the date. I want the in time and the out time. I said, I was real particular with this when I first started. I said, but as I got to 40, 50 loads, maybe 100 loads, I started dwindling down a little bit. And because I never had a problem with any of the brokers saying, hey, we're not going to pay you for this because you didn't do X, Y, or Z. And I just kind of, stopped doing that. And I'm on load 200 and, let's see here, 216 with my authority. And I've yet to have one load or one broker not want to pay me on a load. Nowadays, all I get is just a signed POD and a date. Now, if I'm running into detention, yes, I'm going to get an in time and an out time, and I'm going to get the printed name and the signature name. That's when detention is involved, because I don't want them arguing the fact of detention. That could be anywhere from $40 to $500. I don't want to. Good God, that's gorgeous. You guys seeing this? Man, I get to drive in this stuff, man. It looks like spring and winter all in one picture. That's gorgeous. Yeah, that's gorgeous. What was I saying, man? I lost my train of thought there. Yeah, if it's involving detention, yeah, I'm not going to take no chances. I'm going to get a signature. I'm going to get you to print your name, date it, time in, time out. And with that, I've never had a problem with detention as well. Now, then he asked, what is this quick pay? I said, well, every broker, I'm not sure every broker out there's got it, but every one that I'm set up with offers it. I said, and for me, from my experience as a one-man operation, just starting out, I would quick pay. I'd quick pay all of them. And he said, well, what about when you grow? I said, then that's when I would probably look into factoring and factor and get a good percentage and use those low percentage quick pay fees to negotiate a good percentage on a factoring company. And because a lot of them want you to factor with them, but why were you going to factor with them when they want to charge you 3.5% when the quick pay fee is only 2% or 1.5% or 2.5%? So use that as a negotiating tactic and get the factoring company to drop the percentage. But just starting out the first year or two, just like I told him, I said, I would just recommend you quick paying. And here's why. I said, I'm set up with maybe 15 brokers, like I said earlier. I'm pretty good at remembering all the different ways that they want their invoices submitted. They're all different, just a little tweak, but they're all different. I said, but when you get and you want to be able to set up with all the brokers, or you're in a specific area and there's not a lot of broker freight on the board or available from the ones you're set up with, but you see a broker that has a load that you're not set up with, versus going through the steps and motions of getting set up with them with quick pay and all that stuff and remembering everything they like when you invoice their loads. That's when I told him I would start looking into factoring. I said, that way, plus you'll have a year, 2, 3 under your belt, you won't have no issues with getting loads from brokers because you've got an established time on your authority. I said, and that way, when you want to haul a load from a specific broker, you can just factor it and you ain't got to worry about quick paying with them. I said, but just starting out, I would recommend quick paying. And he said, well, what about waiting for the term? Whether it's 90 days or 60, why don't you do that? I said, well, first off, I'm a one-man operation and I ain't got money coming out of my ears. I said, here's the deal with that deal. I said, let's say you run 4 loads a week. You do short hops, overnights. And you run 4 this week, 4 next week, 4 the next week, and 4 the week after. I said, let's just use it on a 4-week period there. I said, now you're at 16 loads that hasn't paid you yet. I said, do you have enough capital to cover you on 16 loads waiting on payment? I said, by the end of that term, you could have $8,000 tied up in fuel. I said, and here's the problem there. I said, any of the fuel cards you get, they're going to be net 7s unless you use a regular credit card. I said, they're going to be net 7s. I said, you got enough money to sustain those net 7s whenever you're going 4, 5, 6 weeks without collecting money on these loads? I said, if you run that 4 loads a week at 4 weeks at 16 loads, and let's say you've got $300 invested in each trip, or even $200, that money adds up. And if you're going to use a fuel card, you need big capital to make sure the fuel card's paid on the next 7. I said, I don't have that kind of money. I said, I'm just a one-man operation. I need my money now. I said, so that's why I don't do it. I said, now if I had a big bank account, sure, let's do it. I said, that's where people talk about where you need $40,000, $50,000 reserve. If you've got that, then absolutely wait on your payments. But most of us, just being truthful, most of us don't have that. I said, so quick pay for me, or even factoring for me, is a no-brainer. It makes sense. And not only this, I said, if you've got the money taken care of, and you can cover the factoring in the money situation. But here's another problem that is going to arise. I said, every day you're going to have the headache. I said, after 4 weeks rolls by and you've got 16 to 20 loads that you hadn't been paid for yet. Sorry guys, I'm just pausing for a moment to take in that view. Jesus, that's pretty. All right, you got 15, 16, 20 loads you hadn't been paid for yet. I said, now every day, as long as you stay steady and working, every day you're collecting money. Every day you're more than likely going to be calling people, hey, where's my money? Every day you're going to be trying to keep up with who's paid and who hasn't. I said, every day's going to be a headache and a hassle. I said, at that point, you're not only a business owner, you're not only a truck driver, you're not only a dispatcher and a booking agent and all that stuff. Now you're an accounts payable and a receivable. I said, now you got to keep up with who's paid and who hasn't. I said, I don't know about you, but I don't want that headache. I said, here's what I found out. I said, I hadn't set up and started factoring yet. I said, I'm still quick pay with everybody. I said, but to give anywhere from 0 to 3% of my money up front to get my money tomorrow or 2 or 3 business days later, I said, it's totally worth it. It's a no-brainer. I said, because here's what I experienced. I said, my first year, oh man, hold on guys, I gotta slow down. My first year, I said, I averaged anywhere from $350 to $400, somewhere around that ballpark, a month on quick pay. I said, and here's the kicker. I said, let's just say $100 a week to get my money fast, and I didn't have to worry about trying to chase my money down. I said, now if I was to hire an accountant or a bookkeeper or accounts receivable and payable person, I said, good luck on finding that for $400 a month. He kind of laughed. He said, yeah, right. I said, so I look at it like that. It's $400 a month, and that is my accounts receivable and accounts payable accounts receivable person, and I don't have to worry and the headache of chasing down my money. I said, and plus at the end of the month we all need write-offs. I said, I don't know about you, but I know me, I need write-offs. I said, and if I pay anywhere from $3,000 to $6,000 a year in factoring fees to get my money, I said, totally worth it. Totally worth it. Now, you might disagree with that, and that's okay. Like I said in the beginning of this video, there's no right or wrong way to do things per person basis. You got to find what works for you and just do it. So, I hope you found this helpful while I was just chattering, on some of my thoughts on the topic. I thought it was a good idea. I've had a lot of people ask me that, so I figured why not make a video of it, and I figured I'd put it to an awesome drive road like this, or awesome background, or whatever you want to call this, scenic route. It's gorgeous. So anyways guys, if you hadn't subscribed, consider subscribing. Be sure to hit the bell so you don't miss a video. I put them out pretty regular. And hit the comments if you like this. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what your points of view are. And don't be shy now. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, either one. Guys, y'all have a good one. You got to think how to rise. Winners never quit, and quitters, well, they never win. See you, bye.